I destroyed you.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what? Okay, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all good. So yeah, I don't know. This looks like it would be my preferred build. Frank's mixtape, Susie's with nurses, monitor, fanat, and knockout.
English, please.
Ooh.
Basically, basically the biggest weakness of Legion is there's no incentive to heal yourself because you just can't get any downs. But what if you cause an incentive to heal, which would be Thanatophobia? But the problem with that is Thanatophobia is just not good at what it does. But at the same time, if any killer can make use of it, it would be Legion, with how amazing he can actually injure people. Knockout is for more like time wasting. Like when you finally get that person down, you kind of just leave them there and basically try to force people to either stay injured or stay downed on the ground. Monitor is probably the perfect perk for him because it helps him stay stealthy when trying to find people in the first place. But once you stab someone in frenzy, then it doubles into helping you out with increasing the terror radius because you're quote-unquote in a chase, which then allows you to find people who aren't in deep wounds even faster. And then nurses, if you cause them to have a reason to heal, then nurses is just nurses. It's fucking ridiculous. The only thing I can really see is probably replacing nurses with barbecue maybe, or ruin. Problem with those is ruin's a fucking totem, and barbecue, well, you're not looking to really hook people as Legion. You're more just, well, or if you are, then you're waiting a long fucking while to do it. You're really more or less just trying to keep everybody injured. Remember Me is a fantastic perk because you can stack up tokens very quickly on your obsession. Save the best for last would be, but you're mostly attacking people in your power anyway, which is not affected by save the best for last, so Third seal's pretty good. Distressing is also really good because it helps you find people farther away from you because it increases your terror radius, and that helps you find people while you're in frenzy. Instant down perks do not work well on him, unfortunately, because they don't work with his power. Strider is actually a really good perk for him, because even if you can't give them a reason to heal themselves, which is mostly because there's no reason to heal versus Legion, and Thanatophobia isn't that good of a perk, then Strider just makes it a lot easier to find people who don't have Iron Will on. But if they do have Iron Will on, then Strider's not going to help you out at all. After that, if they make Mending affected by healing buffs and debuffs, then Sloppy Butcher would be absolutely insane on Legion. But as it is right now, it's not really that good. Bamboozle is actually like really good on him just for the vault speed increase. But other than that, I don't really find Bamboozle that good of a perk to begin with. Deer Stalker could be good. Discordance would be good if people gathered up on generators more often together, but they don't. And after that, there's really nothing else I can think of that would actually be good on this killer. Overall, final impressions, the killer fucking sucks. Definitely the worst killer if he's released like this in the entire game. However, he is insanely fun. He is the best killer at injuring people. He punishes altruism pretty well. And again, he's just a fun killer. It's just a shame that this killer is more like a killer that deserves to be in last year. Good crowd thinner. Punishes grouping up, but is really bad at chasing the straggler. The one who is just off on their own. Which in Dead by Daylight, if they're smart and realize it's Legion, every single person is just going to split up and do their own thing. Not a lot of builds you could do on Legion. Legion's builds are more defined by his add-ons, not by his perks. Like, you can either go with like the build that I do, which is more of like you find one person after trying to inflict deep wounds as much as possible, but then you find one person and just hit them 3 times in your power. There's a one where it's like just make everything take as long as possible when it comes to mending. But after that, yeah, you're right, there really isn't much else. It's kind of a damn shame because this killer is a really fun one to play and a really cool concept. It's just, he's not made for this game. He's not made for this game at all. Oh, he is absolutely add-on dependent. Without add-ons, it's not even close. He's absolutely worse than Freddy. Absolutely worse than Pig. Absolutely worse than Clown, Trapper, Doc. Like, all the killers that are, like, already kind of lacking. Like, Legion just adds to the list. There are definitely ways you can improve him. 115 movement speed is probably the easiest one to do, because then he would actually be, like, somewhat intimidating in a chase. Because it's not just like, oh, well, I could just not heal, have you keep chasing me, my deep wounds timer doesn't go down. The other thing is, like, increase the deep wounds timer, but make it so that it goes down while in a chase. That could definitely fucking help. Could make it so that you need self-care or a medkit in order to mend yourself. Though, with the Legion's power, that might be a little busted. There are ways that Legion could be buffed and not be broken and be more like mid-tier, and then there are other ways where he can be buffed and just become top-tier easily. And I'm pretty sure they don't want to make another Spirit where she was bad on launch and now she's arguably top 3. Yeah, buffing Legion is going to be hard, but it is absolutely necessary because right now he is just terrible. Other things about the patch I wanted to talk about were the change to borrow time. Hang on, let me swap Hero Survivor real quick and show you. So, borrow time now, any damage taken that would put the unhooked survivor into the dying state will instead apply the deep wounds status effect. Basically the exact same shit that the Legion does. And then the survivor has 20 seconds to mend themselves. That is not good at all. The reason why is because it makes this perk too strong. The fact that you're able to mend yourself, not affected by healing, buffs or debuffs, not revealed by nurses, and the bleed out timer, because it's now a deep wound timer, does not go down during a chase. This makes basically any endgame save like completely possible, and as such it just makes it too easy to get an endgame save. So I don't like that at all. other shit that I could name off the top of my head. Diversion got buffed. It doesn't say that it does this in the perk description, but now it actually creates scratch marks around wherever the pebble lands, which is pretty cool. Definitely makes a perk not useless anymore, but it's more like meh. Gaming Paradise, what's up, dude? Just finishing talking about the PTB and everything, both good and bad with it. The new perks, Aftercare, or new perks for Survivor. Aftercare is a really neat perk. I like the idea. All effects of this perk are reset when you're hooked by the killer. That helps prevent it from being, like, too strong, I guess. But yeah, Aftercare is more like a replacement for either Bond or Empathy. It's really more like personal preference. I definitely prefer Bond, but Aftercare is definitely a really good perk, and I like it. Distortion is fucking bullshit. So, when your aura would be shown to the killer, the perk activates and a token is consumed. The next 10 seconds, your aura and scratch marks will not be shown to the killer. So, first off, this is a complete counter to barbecue, which I mean, barbecue is already a perk that has counterplay to it. There's really no reason to add more fucking bullshit like this. Second off, the duration is way too long. 10 seconds is insane. At most, it should be the amount of time barbecue is active for, which is 4 seconds. And third off, no scratch marks. That part of its effect in its entirety, I don't care how long the duration is, even if it is brought down to 4 seconds, no scratch marks just makes it a better Dance With Me. Much more viable version of Dance With Me. You just basically become a ghost. It's insane. This perk really needs to be nerfed before launch, or else it's just going to be used all the time. Too many killers can only run barbecue and nothing else when it comes to aura reading. And this, combined with the next thing I'm about to talk about after the next Survivor perk I go to, just makes barbecue almost completely fucking useless on a killer that only has one aura reading perk, and it's abysmal. The final perk for the Survivor, Jeff Johansson, is Breakdown, which anytime you're removed from a hook, the hook breaks and the killer's aura is shown to you for 6 seconds. This is more like a toxic perk, but it's not really broken. And it's not even really that good, but it is definitely decent. And I'm fine with it. It's just more annoying. It's supposed to help prevent tunneling, I guess. Jeff's perks are OP. I only say Distortion's OP. Aftercare and Breakdown are more like annoying. Or Breakdown's more annoying, but it's fine. Aftercare is just a damn good perk. But Distortion is absolutely OP. Now, the other thing that makes Distortion OP... So, you're basically hidden from barbecue 3 times, right? Wrong. First off, you could get within 40 meters, where your aura would never have been shown anyway, so a token isn't taken away. Or, a new change, whenever you are in a locker, auras from either Survivor or Killer perks are not shown. That's insane. That is 100% ridiculous. That is 2 extra counters to barbecue in a patch that already seems to be focused on getting rid of camping and tunneling. I mean, what else do you expect killers to do at that point if their best tracking perk doesn't fucking work? I mean, we only have so many perk slots in order to, like, fucking get rid of Survivor tools. Now, killer perks are pretty underwhelming, to say the very least, but they can work with some killers and some builds. Iron Maiden open lockers 50% faster, and survivors who exit lockers suffer from the exposed status effect for 15 seconds, and their location is revealed for 4. This can actually work pretty well on Leatherface and Hillbilly. Because they'll try to locker juke your chainsaws, and then they exit out of the locker, and then then they're just basically exposed, and you can just instant down them with a melee swing. How long is the hook broken for? Exact same time as it normally is, about like 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, this is where Iron Maiden comes in handy, but this is what I'm talking about. Killers only have 4 perk slots. We can't cover for infinites, where people use Bamboozle, gen times, which is like, what, fucking Ruin and Sloppy Butcher, and all the other stuff that we already have to deal with only 4 perk slots. Like, a lot of the lower tier M1 killers, like, or mid to low tier M1 killers, like Myers, Wraith, Clown, fucking Trapper, like, those killers, the only time that they can actually, the only aura reading perk they can afford, because they need the other 3 perk slots for, like, anything else to cover their weaknesses, is Barbecue. So Distortion just fucks over all of these killers that are already struggling. Assuming that they actually run Barbecue, which, I mean, I do on almost all of my killers, period, much less my M1 killers. Now, Iron Maiden can be useful. It definitely helps as Leatherface and Hillbilly. As Huntress, you reload your hatchets faster, so it's a pretty decent perk on her, but I can't see myself taking off any of my perks to make room for it. And as Doctor, this could really punish people who try to hide in lockers in order to escape your madness. But outside of those 4 killers, I don't see any killer making any kind of use for this perk at all. Mad Grit. While carrying a survivor, you suffer no cooldown for missed attacks, and successfully hitting another survivor will pause the carry survivor's wiggle timer for 4 seconds. This is not going to be that useful. It's just too situational. Casaromi, you can leave if you want. I'm just explaining other patch stuff. I'm basically done testing since we kind of don't have anyone else. Yeah, sorry, dude. But thanks for stopping by. Anyway, alright, then fine. Just keep listening. But yeah, Mad Grit is just too situational. I guess it like, the best use I could see for it is, like, Survive with Friends squads that, like, just body block the hook at all costs. But, other than that, yeah, I don't see any use for it. I definitely can't see myself taking off a perk that I already use on any killer for it. And my favorite one out of the killer ones, Discordance. Anytime 2 survivors or more are working on the same gen, the gen's aura is highlighted in yellow for 12 seconds. This could be good for 3 gen strats, but the meta already is split, like the survivors split off and tackle individual gens and try to get as many done as in as short of a time as possible. And because they split up to do that, Discordance is really more of a situational at best perk. The new map itself, wait. The new map itself, let me go. The new map itself, the structure of the map, the layout, like, it's pretty nice. Some totem spawns are really shit, others are actually pretty decent. Honestly, I like the new map. It's pretty good. Just needs totem spawns fixed and for the fat shaming spots to be rid of, but that's from testing and all that. So I already explained the locker change, which was stupid. I explained... Wait, what the hell? Oh god. Where... list of the stuff that I found stupid about this PTB. Here we are. Yeah. Legion, Distortion, Blockers hiding auras, Deep Wounds doing nothing, Borrow Time buff. The only other thing I could say is, Discord tells you what people are teaming on Discord, Omega lol. The only other thing is, they changed the lighting on most, like, on the entire, pretty much for the entire game. Like, textures are a little different. You can actually see mostly on fucking Macmillan maps now. However, with the new color change, has brought about Claudette being more invisible than ever for obvious reasons. Think I need to move someone? Nah, I'm almost done anyway. I'll just join the DBD chat when I'm done here. But yeah. The new lighting changes still keep Claudette invisible, so it doesn't really fix the problem. And yeah, I agree. I definitely have the same feeling gaming. Like, hopefully all of these things get patched out. Yeah, the lighting changes are good, except for how it affects Claudette, which just keeps her fucking invisible, and it's kind of insane. Claudette needs to have different cosmetics, or have some way to be more visible than she is, because right now she's a fucking ghost. And that's why you see everyone play P3 Claudette. Am I down for Deceit later? Nah, I haven't played that game in so long. Just haven't had the motivation. Like, even for that fucking new emblem, like, I just can't motivate myself to play it. Especially with how busy I've been with school and job interviews. Anyway, yeah, so I want to see Borrow Time reverted back. I want to see Distortion nerfed to max 4 seconds and get rid of that scratch mark disappearing bullshit. Get rid of that. That's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, max 4 seconds for Distortion. Revert Borrow Time back to the way it was. Give Legion 115 movement speed. Get rid of that lockers hide your auras bullshit. And fucking fix Claudette. And then after all of that, maybe, just maybe, this patch will be fine. As of right now, though, this patch will make DBD definitively worse than it was before.